Some motion designers hate the hold system, and for good reason. It can cause huge headaches. But if you manage it properly, it can work in your favor. You can use it to your advantage in a number of situations, like a client releasing a booking late, not having consistent work, or not being able to choose which projects you work on. So let's look at what the hold system is and how you can make it work for you. Before we jump into this video, do make sure you download our free course to help you to get your next client in just 5 days. The link will be below this video in the description. Do make sure you stick around all the way to the end of this video because I'm going to share with you how to use the hold system to get more projects that you love. Questions about the hold system are common, but I want to hear from you. What are your questions around the business side of design and animation? Let me know by posting a comment below this video, and I'll do my best to answer all your questions. So what is the hold system? Well, the hold system is usually how freelancers and their clients manage their bookings. Usually this is when you're working with a studio or an agency. So let's talk about how exactly the hold system works. The hold system differs from country to country, but generally it works like this. The client asks to put a hold on your time. This means they get the first hold. Essentially, this means they're first in the queue to book you for work. In the UK, we call this a pencil. If you agree to this first hold or first pencil, the client essentially has first dibs on your time. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have a confirmed project with them yet, and you have to wait for them to confirm the project. This has huge benefits to the client because it means that they know they have a resource available for their project, but if for any reason their project falls through or their client changes the deadline, then it means that they can release you without any consequences like a kill fee. If you aren't sure whether the client is booking you or whether they are asking you for a first hold or a first pencil, just ask them if they are confirming this booking or whether it is a hold. Usually doing this will clear up any confusion, and it's always best to know where you stand with a client. If you have a kill fee or a cancellation fee in place where you get 50% of the project or of the booking, you should let the client know in advance when they're booking you, just so they know if they confirm a project that it will be subject to a kill fee if you're released before the project starts. Sometimes studios and agencies will have a kill fee in their contract, which they'll have you sign, but this isn't always the case. So do make sure you read their contract carefully. And as always, you should seek professional legal advice if you need to. Sometimes, even if you have a kill fee in your contract, you may not want to enforce it, especially if you're working with a client over a long period of time and they usually don't release your bookings. Then you might consider not enforcing a kill fee if one time they unfortunately have to release you, just because this will create some goodwill with your regular client. So imagine now you have a first hold or a first pencil with a client, and they haven't confirmed the booking yet. And then another client comes along to you and asks if they can book you. You confirm with them that this is also just a hold, so then you would give them the second hold or the second pencil. This essentially means that they're second in line to book you. If they would then like to confirm the booking, you need to go to your first hold or first pencil client and you need to ask them if they can either confirm you or if they can release you. Usually you would give them 24 hours to do this so that you can let your other client know who has a second hold whether they can book you or not. It's really, really important to make sure that the second hold does actually want to confirm you. Otherwise you could risk losing both bookings, and we really, really don't want that. If the second hold client can't confirm the booking and they just want to have a hold, you would just leave them as second in the queue and you wouldn't challenge the first hold. Sometimes people call it challenging. if you go to the first hold and ask them if they can confirm the booking, because you have a second hold that would like to confirm their booking. Working in this way can benefit you, because if you have a first hold, you can continue to look for work and you can give those clients the second hold. Now I'm going to talk through some of the pitfalls of the booking system. Imagine you have a first hold with a regular client of yours, and then another client comes along who is from an amazing studio that you've always wanted to work with. They want to confirm your booking, but when you challenge the booking for the first hold client, they say that they can confirm the booking, meaning that you have to work on the project with your first hold client. And that means that you will lose the project with your favorite studio. This can happen and it can be frustrating. And this is why some animators and motion designers give themselves the first hold, so they can have the power to pick and choose the projects they work on, essentially meaning any client that comes to them, they say has the second hold, and then they would essentially pick which project they would like to work on. If you would like to learn about the hold system from a studio's point of view, I recommend checking out a podcast with Aaron Sorofsky and Austin Shaw on Between the Keyframes. I'll add the link below this video in the description. Now you've mastered the hold system and hopefully you're booking many clients, I want to show you how to get a good brief from the client that makes them happy and makes them come back to you again and again. So you should watch this video next, where I show you how to get a great brief easily from your client. And I'll see you next week for more tips and advice around the business side of design and animation.